it's such an interesting case because of how One Piece started. Like we got the original Four Kids dub, and it's kind of hard to say like how One Piece is because Yu-Gi-Oh started with the Four Kids dub, and that actually ended up pretty well. But with One Piece, they made so many interesting changes where people were like, I don't really rock with that, and it wasn't a consistent viewing. Like with Yu-Gi-Oh, we had it like every Saturday morning, and then it transitioned to like at weekdays on Kids WB. With One Piece, you had it like on certain channels of Fox on Saturday or Sunday mornings. And even then, they made so many interesting changes with the dub where it's like, I don't know if I can really rock with that, which is why we ended up with the Funimation dub later down the line. Whereas
Right.
with Naruto, it started with such a very good dub, even though like people would have qualms with Naruto saying believe it or whatever like that, but it was such a nostalgic and ingrained thing. Like you get to hear people use sensei for the first time, so when kids go to class you're like, oh, that's my sensei, you know what I mean? It's so many different things that are ingrained into the pop culture of Naruto because it had such a great dub that just sticks out into our mind, and One Piece never really got that. With Yu-Gi-Oh's case, it was a card game, so you had something that tied along with the game, with the show, so it wasn't necessarily like anything wrong with it, you know what I mean? In regards to people getting attached to the series. One Piece didn't really get that in regard because of how it transitioned over here. The dub was questionable. There is nothing that you could really like gravitate onto material wise to where it's like, the merchandise sold, so it's selling One Piece and vice versa. There is nothing really about that with One Piece. Like we get that in Japan and you see like so many One Piece stores in Japan, but that's because of it's the natural language. It didn't have to be dubbed or it didn't have to have any edits in the showing for kids. So when it came time for One Piece to get a proper dub with Funimation, it's like okay, we kind of see where how great it is, and we kind of get latching onto that. But at that point, Yu-Gi-Oh has already made its foothold into like Western culture. Naruto has already made its foothold in the Western culture. We're in Shippuden now at that point, you know what I mean? And then it started to get to the late game Shippuden. So it's like, all right, at the point that we got the Funimation dub, I'm pretty sure One Piece was heading in towards the Summit War. And so with all of that in mind, that's 500 episodes, and you don't get a chance to grow along with the series. You got to catch up at that point. You know what I mean? And a lot of people really didn't get into anime. For me personally, I didn't see a lot of people getting into anime until like the last 5 or so years, and especially with One Piece. Like One Piece has become such a bigger thing now because people see how great it is, but it's such a daunting task to catch up to a
Yeah.
thousand episodes at this point over the course of 20
Yeah.
years. So it's like, you know what I mean? I think One Piece was just set back by how it was, how its production was handled.